let's move to agenda item 2. This is public comment. And let me just read this before we start inviting people to the microphone. Let's see. I'm just going to read it all here. Public comment disclaimer. Please note, failure to follow the below guidelines during public comment may result in action, including but not limited to termination of your time to give comment, removal from the meeting, and future restriction to written public comment only. The public may sign up to share public comments at publiccomment@schools.utah.gov. The public may send written public comments to the board at board@schools.utah.gov. Public comments are limited to 2 minutes per person. A comment can express support or dissent for regulatory action. Individuals should not use public comment to complain about personnel issues or attack or defame an individual. Speakers making a highly detailed or complex comment should also consider providing a written outline of their words to the board. Please remember that children may hear your comments. Be thoughtful and professional, and keep your comments appropriate for a general audience. If you have material with explicit language or content, submit such material in writing to the board at board@schools.utah.gov. First, we have with us Brigham Stander, if he'll come on up, and the microphone is live, so go ahead when you're ready, and you've got 2 minutes. Thank you, Brigham.
Thank you. I just want to start by thanking the board members for giving me this opportunity to speak and share my story. My name is Brigham Stander. I'm the president of the Turning Point USA chapter at Fremont High School. About a year ago, my friend won 2 VIP passes to TPUSA's America Fest in Phoenix, Arizona. He invited me to go, and it changed my life. The leadership, the speakers, the energy. I knew I wanted to bring that spirit back to my school. In January, my friend tried to start a club at Fremont, but was told it was too late in the year, and we weren't even officially recognized until the end of that school year when there was nothing we could do. And even then, we were handed a list of restrictions: no school events, no advertising beyond a small flyer, no yearbook, no assemblies. In July, we held the first presidency meeting. We launched an Instagram page, and within days, we faced backlash, a petition to shut us down, phone calls from administration, and a demand to take down the page because it, quote-unquote, made the school look bad. We asked to participate in back-to-school night and club rush, and we were denied again. But during homecoming week, other groups like the mountain biking group and the seminary were featured in the parade, spirit video, and the assembly. And I later found out they, along with ski and snowboarding club, were also in last year's yearbook and newspaper, things we were told were off limits. When I asked about this, I was told homecoming was a unique event. Later, Principal Talbot said groups have historically been allowed in parades and yearbook collages, which directly contradicted what we were told. Last week, I reapplied for curriculum status using TPUSA's mission statement focused on fiscal responsibility, free markets, and traditional values, and I was denied again. I filed an appeal last Thursday, and I still have not received a response. This isn't just happening at Fremont. I've heard from other students from Westfield, Roy, and Bountiful High facing similar issues. I'm not just asking for equal treatment, but to work to clarify what is a curriculum club versus group to ensure fair access for all. Thank you for your time and for listening.
Thank you, Brigham. Next, we have Braden Stander.
All right, good morning. Thank you, board, for giving us the opportunity. I'm Brigham's dad. I've been helping him navigate through this challenge. So really the big question is, why are we here, right? And so many want you to believe that this is a miscommunication between what is a club and what is a group and those things. But the reality is it's much deeper than that. And as you dig into the issue, what we have is policy, law, rules that leave it open to the discretion of administrators at the lowest level to determine, based on their opinions, their feelings, which clubs get certain accesses, which clubs don't. As Brigham noted, through the years, we have evidence of groups who have had all of these accesses, all of these rights that enable them to participate and be part of the school. And the kids were told no. They were given a sheet that said, no, you can't do these things. And so it was specific to turning points. And the real question is why now? Why all of a sudden? Do we have this situation where we allowed groups for years to do these things, but Turning Point USA has been given those things have been denied on. And so as parents, we engaged with the assistant principal. We said, hey, we feel like they're being targeted. And in it, they say, well, moving forward, we're not going to do these things anymore for groups, which raises a lot of red flags for me as a parent and hopefully for you guys as a board, that there's a different standard because a different club has now applied to, or a different group has applied for those statuses. And so what I really want to highlight for us is we really need to start opening the dialogue and digging into the rules. We're working with the legislature to really dig in and see, to ensure that fair access is granted to all groups, all clubs, equally across the board. And that's what we're looking for. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Braden. Next, we will hear from Renee Pinckney.
Good morning, members of the board and Superintendent Hart. I'm Renee Pinckney, a 31-year veteran social studies teacher and president of the Utah Education Association. We know that students do their best when educators and parents work together and collaborate for their personalized education, reaching their full potential, and to strengthen public schools. Parents and educators are experts on what students need, and educators are champions for the resources that parents need to ensure their children can thrive. Student success is at the heart of everything that we do. To that end, UEA is urging lawmakers to provide at least a 2% increase on the weighted pupil unit above the statute requirements, expand the educator salary adjustment program to include school-registered nurses, to ensure no more funding is directed to unaccountable private school religious vouchers, and to establish sustainable and growing long-term revenue sources to guarantee sufficient funding for K-12 public schools. In addition, UEA's policy includes, but is not limited to, clarifying statute to reinstate speech language pathologists as eligible for classroom supply funding, supporting legislation to improve student attendance and reduce chronic absenteeism by identifying critical resources for educators, students, and families, reducing special education caseloads and class sizes to ensure manageable workloads and adequate student support, and finally, increasing resources for school safety and student well-being, including investments in physical facilities, school psychologists, social workers, and counselors. We are looking forward to working with you, other policymakers, parents, and education partners throughout the 2026 general session. And congratulations to PTA for 100 years. And we are really looking forward to working together with that association as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Finally, with us online, we have Heidi Alder.
Sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yep,
How are
we can
you?
see
Thank
you
you
and
for-
hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Heidi Alder. I am General Counsel for Weaver School District, and I just wanted to address the board and let the board know the district's position with regard to curricular and non-curricular clubs. We have been working with youth groups who have petitioned to be both a non-curricular and a curricular club, the Turning Point USA at Fremont High Schools and also at other high schools in the district. And as you know, board members, there is a distinction in the law between non-curricular and curricular clubs. Curricular clubs are specifically tied to a curriculum sponsored by the school, driven by an advisor. Non-curricular clubs in Weaver School District, we call them groups. Those are student-driven. Those don't have the same access to all of the events and participation in school activities that clubs do because they're not school-sponsored. We have been in communication with the Turning Point USA groups, and I hope we can further that communication and sit down and go over the documentation that was alluded to previously regarding access to other non-curricular clubs and denial to Turning Point USA. The district has made a concerted effort over the years to provide equal access to all non-curricular clubs pursuant to the Equal Access Act and the Supreme Court case of Mergens. We believe that we have. We believe that we have not provided favoritism to any particular non-curricular club. And we would love to continue the conversation with anyone who believes differently. And we hope to remain committed to equal access to all non-curricular clubs in our school district. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you. That concludes our public comment. Board members, we don't typically take a break this early, but if we could break for 7 minutes, can we set a timer? 7 minutes, and then I can get some sugar. Thank you.